Hi, it's Bob Hoopshire, and this is the Gaining Perspective podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with some of the top thought leaders in the investment advisor profession and investment management industry. I am the founder and CEO of Advisor Perspectives. The right technology platform with the right integrations and support is critical to the success of an advisor's growth and client engagement. Each piece must be right, but it's the blending that drives the value. Understanding the advisor's needs and involving them in the decision process is vital to the success. This needs to be done at all levels of product development, from strategy and design to testing, support, and ongoing feedback. My guest today will explain how he has managed and navigated this process with one of the largest advisor networks, Commonwealth Financial. Patrick Daniel joined Commonwealth in December 2000 as a developer on the application solutions team, helping build many of the core tools used by advisors, staff, and clients. He shifted into a managerial role, helping grow the team and drive the evolution of product areas focused on asset management, reporting, planning, document management, and client experience. And in January 2019, he became Director, Advisor, Technology Solutions. Patrick, tell me a little bit more about your background and your career path that led you to your leadership role at Commonwealth.
Sure. Before I get into the details there, Bob, again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to have a conversation with you here today. Um, After graduating college with a business and computer information systems degree, I started actually in the Boston area with a software consulting firm, and they had large clients within the financial and wealth management space. So my first assignment was actually at Putnam Investments, which coming straight out of college is a wonderful opportunity due to the size that and the products that they offer there. So I was able to work for 5 years on different projects and teams, from the defined benefit side to defined contributions to the institutional sales and lastly international. So again, it gave me this comprehensive view of the industry at a really young age. I was extremely fortunate to work again on various technology platforms as well under some amazing leadership there. I then followed a few folks to Commonwealth in 2000 to work on the software development team. And at that time, I was actually the fifth developer as part of that group. So again, it provided an amazing opportunity to really get involved at the ground floor for building out an advisor platform. That led to various development roles and product areas until 2019, as you stated, when I shifted into my current role today with the Advisor Technology Solutions team. And what we really do is engage with our Commonwealth community, including our business and technology partners, to really advocate and promote the Commonwealth's technology platform.
Well, let's talk about the technology that you've built at Commonwealth. And I'm sure that Commonwealth, like any other organization, faces a build versus buy decision that, from my experience, because I also have a technology background, I know it drives the overall technology platform. What approach has Commonwealth taken, and how are those decisions impacting the technology growth and vision of your organization?
Sure. It's a challenging decision for sure, Bob. It's fair to say that the process has matured at Commonwealth as the advisor tech space has evolved over the last 20 plus years that I've been there. I think our approach all along though has remained the same, but the options obviously to choose from have definitely increased. When we look at each decision from a build versus buy, we're looking at it with the same basic mindset that really focuses in on three key areas. Does the roadmap, vision, and support align with what we have at Commonwealth? What is the true depth of integration provided with any products that are offered within the industry? And lastly, does the current feature set match up with our advisor and staff requirements? And historically, when we've run through this practice, we found that many providers check off any two of those boxes, but sometimes lack on the third. And perhaps our direction was initially formed as a result of the absence of tools and integration that we had 20 plus years ago. So, with that in mind, Commonwealth set out to build a singular digital experience with its proprietary advisor portal, which is called Community Link. Now, going forward and over the last 5 to 10 years, we continue to evaluate each technology decision, again, the build versus buy, really taking into consideration industry product analysis and trends, best practices, and always at the core is our advisor feedback. With the resources and investment in the advisor tech space, again, over the last several years, we now have more options available to provide opportunities to build upon or improve our technology platform. And I'll give you just a quick example here. Two of our core products that our advisors use on a day-to-day basis within our goals and trading platform. We had the engine swapped out, which was code that was built several years ago by Commonwealth, and we've shifted over now to third-party partner APIs because they're now available and they weren't maybe 10 to 15 years ago. And our end goal again throughout will always remain the same: to build an integrated platform that provides our advisors total client business management from any device.
So you're building this total integrated platform, but I'm sure that in the construction of it, you have choices that range from a system that provides a full all in one solution to the other end of the spectrum, which might be a best of breed approach. How have you approached that? What are the critical questions to ask and answer to make sure you get the right balance?
Yeah, I love this question. Interestingly, I get asked this a lot, particularly when I'm meeting with prospective advisors and providing a review of our platform. When they're kicking the tires at Commonwealth. I think it's a reminder of the always shifting, evolving advisor tech space we're in. As I alluded to earlier, if you go back 20 plus years, there wasn't, I think, the abundance of advisor tech providers, whether it's an all-in-one or a best-of-breed type of approach, as we've seen grown exponentially just in the last 5 to 10 years. And from the start, when I joined Commonwealth, our community was asking for a holistic experience, right? Taking data from different areas, whether it's CRM, performance reporting, revenue, account, household data. And 20 plus years ago, there were a few key players in these product silos, whether it's CRM planning or reporting, but the level of integration just wasn't there. And we quickly realized from our advisor feedback that integration really needed to have a purpose or an end goal, that we just didn't want to integrate to integrate. And so I don't know, to answer your question here. I guess I don't know if I can say it with great confidence that there's this magic formula of asking the right questions. Just because there's an all-in-one platform doesn't mean it's the one for your organization, or a best of breed may not be the best suited for your advisor community. It's truly understanding the why behind the technology and how that aligns with the organization's goals and vision. And among other considerations we look at as well, it's the support and resourcing around that as well. So, with the explosion of new technologies such as open architecture, cloud based solutions, APIs, improved data feeds, it just gives more options from a tech stack perspective, which makes it absolutely critical that organizations spend time to run the due diligence, the requirements gathering, and all along bringing in the right stakeholders, again, both internal and the advisor community. And again, most importantly, aligning on that why and reinforcing it throughout the organization.
Well, speaking of the why, I'm sure that with the pandemic and COVID, you must have had a renewed focus on providing platforms that allowed advisors and your staff to work from home, anywhere, on any device. How did Commonwealth adapt and provide solutions that met those expectations?
I think if you talk to many people in an industry, I think you'll find that COVID really expedited the remote needs for advisors. And obviously, technology is going to play an important role in that. It also provided an opportunity for us to reevaluate the advisor and client experience. First, it's ensuring the little things are executed. So it's making sure that as we're building products and experiences, we're doing so from a browser agnostic perspective. Right? If we look at our own hit tracking within our advisor platform, interestingly enough, the iPad is the third most used browser. And that's, again, excluding the mobile app. Understanding it's very difficult to be 100% optimized for each experience. It's using the mindset during the design, during the architecture, the development, the testing phases that ultimately provides value to our community. And it's then leveraging this new development frameworks that are available within the industry to build once, but deploy to many devices, for example. Right? In other words, being able to reuse components across both website and mobile app experiences. So, along with the new technology advances, right, there's opportunities to build in a new experience. It's also an exercise in resharpening the pencil. Right? This includes looking at industry trends, again, not just within our own industry, but to also rethink how mobile app, for example, can evolve with the changing demands. Part of that effort is looking for integration partners to fill gaps or leverage new technologies. I'll use an existing example. When COVID hit at Commonwealth, we quickly shifted resources to enhance the remote capabilities and security to address the increasing sophistication of threats and challenges with advisors, obviously now being more remote. We partnered with a firm to help us implement a solution at the end of the day that was much less impactful on our advisors, but also improving security at the same time. And to me, that's a win win.
Let's talk about support. How does Commonwealth approach the task of supporting the broad suite of technology services that you provide to advisors? And what lessons can advisors draw from the support model that you've created?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's absolutely important that we push the technology support and services more to the left within the product development lifecycle. And I'll explain, I guess, what I mean by that. It really needs to be infused into the earlier stages. And again, when available or applicable, such as strategy, feature roadmaps, and testing. The support and services group is a source of tremendous experience and knowledge. And Commonwealth brings that forward as a critical part of our advisor success with the platform. Our support and services team are actively engaged in product conversations around design, features, experience, quality acceptance testing. It's much more productive at the end of the day when our advisors and their staff are calling into our help desk or our tech consulting group. And those calls are focused more on adoption and innovation versus, say, handling basic troubleshooting type calls. Our help desk is also actively engaged with advisor firms by providing resources or this blueprint, if you will, for what is needed to run their practices. This includes hardware, software, information security, marketing, among other types of services. Advisors and staff can rely on the experience and knowledge that we have to truly implement a platform that is right for them. And at the same time, that approach fully aligns with our independence model.
Let's pause for a couple of minutes for a word from our sponsor. I know that you already enjoy our content from advisor perspectives every day. So why not use our award winning articles, commentaries, and charts to streamline your communications with clients and prospects? My team and I introduced AP Premium last summer, and we've been blown away by the response from the advisor community. Keep listening for an exclusive code to get $10 off our premium service. You won't find the in depth, sophisticated market analysis and charts like Advisor Perspectives anywhere else. This information can be invaluable to help your clients understand complex topics. Let's say a client asks a question about their estate plan. Instead of spending time researching and drafting a long winded response, quickly grab any number of related articles from our library and share it in a personalized way. AP Premium gives you the power to add your logo and a personalized message to any piece of content and share it directly with your clients and prospects. We also introduced a premium offering called the Ask an Expert webinar series. At our inaugural session, we were joined by Wade Fowl for an intimate Q&A. Advisors have told me this is one of their favorite perks of being a premium member, and we can't wait to share who's slated to join us next. Give premium a try and see for yourself why it pays to be a premium member. As always, we appreciate your support of our efforts to bring excellence to financial journalism. And as a thank you, I'm offering a one time $10 discount for new premium members to be taken off your first monthly or annual payment. Just go to advisorperspectives.com/member. That's advisorperspectives.com/member and use the code podcast 2022. That's podcast 2022, all caps, at checkout. And now back to our podcast. What are the themes that you're hearing from advisors with regard to technology needs? Are there opportunities within specific product areas that your clients are asking for, the advisors you work with are asking for?
Yeah, interestingly, we've seen an uptick just over the last year or two on advisor feedback on building out enhanced client experiences or features onto the client portal. I think that aligns with what we're seeing as well in terms of the other industries over the last several years, particularly during COVID, where we're seeing clients accessing their data and engaging with advisors more often, more remotely. So I think there remains a large opportunity to better align the client experience with other services and or products that clients are using on a day-to-day basis. It's the ability to provide an entitlement-driven platform that provides more client self-service features and personalization for clients that do demand it. As advisors continue to shift in the industry to a more holistic wealth management services, the type of data and technology experiences being provided, I think, really needs to align with those services. That means building in more value-added features such as enhanced planning integration, client engagement opportunities, a holistic data view, right? And that includes your outside assets, and matching that with a similar mobile experience. I'll give you a quick example here. Recently, we ran several design review sessions with clients in collaboration with one of our technology partners. And the feedback provided really reinforces what our advisors are advocating for. And so we're really excited, Bob, in terms of the opportunities that lie ahead for really improving and driving that and redesigning the client experience.
So you're excited about redesigning the client experience. What else excites you in the near term when you look at the overall technology trends that are impacting the advisor community?
A couple areas come to mind. One, and this is probably more of my software development background here coming to the forefront, but it's really the advancement of software development tools that can place the content creation and process execution into the hands of the internal business, or obviously ultimately potentially automating that. Right. For example, at Commonwealth, over the last several years, we've built out a new center of automation with the goal of really improving efficiency and accuracy by leveraging these bots across the operational areas of the staff. This new infrastructure that we've been building out, what we call the robotic process automation (RPA), really allows our internal staff at this time to free up to focus on the most critical areas to support our advisors, but also aligns with our new virtual administration program, eliminating the need for advisors to spend time and resources on basic operational activities, whether it's HR processes, management, even employee setup. We're also looking at ways that how we can leverage this technology to roll out to advisor offices, right, to really help streamline specific use cases that they have implemented within their day-to-day workflows. So there's some really exciting stuff there, and we've already obviously seen many hours gained in terms of time saved. I guess lastly, I'd add to that as well, and again, I don't think this is a secret in terms of the industry, but data. Data really remains obviously at the core of any technology offering. And what Commonwealth has done recently in this space, and we're continuing to build on it, it's about using the existing data to better inform our advisors via business intelligence and metrics to help them make more educated decisions on their practice. We provide this data comparison analytics tool today focused around asset allocation, holdings data, performance, and production to again help inform our advisors on some potential opportunities or ways that they can streamline activities within their practice. Going forward, we're going to continue to build on this platform and provide additional scorecards focused on different business metrics. Because again, at the end of the day, it's critical to help inform our advisors to ensure they're focused on the areas that they need to.
Over the 22 years that you've been at Commonwealth, I'm sure you've seen many instances where Commonwealth has had to adapt to the shifting landscape in the advisory profession. And what lessons can be drawn from that experience of adaptation for the advisors who will be listening to this podcast? How do you build a platform that meets the needs of advisors, whether they are asset management focused or planning focused or somewhere in between?
The answer sometimes seems a little bit obvious, but absolutely, this question is extremely difficult to execute on. I think first and foremost, the advisor and the client have to be at the core of any decision. Right? As our industry continues to shift away from the traditional more commission-based model to a fee-based approach and the growth of the RA channel, it's important to balance building tools, I think, with enough, and I always refer to this bend or flex, so that it can grow with the advisor's needs. And what I mean by that is looking for opportunities within the technology stack to provide hooks or easily swap out components for another, or to provide a level of personalization that advisors are looking for. In our case, it's over the last 20 plus years, it's building in the infrastructure, that core infrastructure, and the data that's underlying it or that's driving that platform to provide systems and processes to make it as easy as possible for advisors to run their business the way that they want to run their businesses. Our goal for CommunityLink has been a platform that can be useful to advisors regardless of their business model. And so, how you do that, I think, is by building tight connectivity between important tools such as your CRM, your financial planning, a proposal generation, account opening, account management for anyone who wants it, but also not forcing that or those types of features on folks that don't, right? And so I think if you couple that with a deep level of personalization, Commonwealth's technology at the end of the day can meet our advisors where they are in that growth and evolution.
So it's personalization plus customization that allows advisors to select the pieces and applications that best suit their practice. What other changes over this 2 decade experience that you've had at Commonwealth have you seen with respect to the evolution of technology, not just at your firm, but across the industry? And how has that shaped your mindset and your approach going forward?
Yeah, no, sure. So it's funny, I think back when I started at Commonwealth back in 2000. Commonwealth's first website was built just a couple years before I joined, and it's actually framed and hanging up on my office wall. And so you might be saying, well, how's that? How is that possible? We actually sent it out on a floppy disk. So you think about that, right? That was almost less than or about 25 years ago. So it's not been very long uh, to look at the advancement of technology, right? Since the days of dial-up. So as a developer for many years, there's been an amazing transformation occurring within the development tools and frameworks. So going from kind of your mainframe based type approach to client server technology to languages such as Microsoft's .NET, Oracle's Java, to more reliance on browser based languages. To I think what's really now you're starting to see is these new products around low code or no code type platforms where it puts the business user in the role of the software developer, which is really exciting. So with each new technology advancement, it brings again new opportunity to shift and enhance the advisor and client experience. And ultimately, where we've seen tremendous value and success at Commonwealth, it's bringing in the right people, right, talented people that will help drive the vision and the strategy. Right? It's this mindset that they need to be open to change, right, for new ways of building products, evolving with technology innovation, whether it's cloud-based platforms or data tools such as BI and machine learning. And lastly, and I can't stress this enough, it's listening to and being open to feedback from the advisors, their staff, and the client community. At Commonwealth, we receive close to 5 to 7,000 feedback items a year. And we have a tool that we've built that's accessible within any page of our CommunityLink platform. This feedback helps shape how we approach each decision. The tool also provides insight for our community to look at feedback actually being provided by their peers, and which is pretty great in the sense that they can vote and add comments to it. And so it really elevates for us quite well in terms of the needs and the kind of the hot topic areas that our advisors are asking for. Because when we look at feedback, we truly look at that as a gift. As we continue to move forward from a technology perspective, we'll continue to find opportunities to align our advisor driven roadmap from this feedback tool with the technology tools of today. And I couldn't be more excited about the future and what it holds for our advisors and their clients.
If there's one key takeaway that you'd like to leave with our audience of advisors about how to manage the technology that supports their practices, what would that be?
Sure, and I'm going to go back to a theme here that I've already spoken to a little bit, but again, this sounds simple, but it's just to involve the stakeholders again, both internal and external, in the technology decision making process, and constantly find opportunities to engage with your advisor community. And I say that early and often, right? Their feedback will help drive the strategy and are an amazing source of information. I'm part of what my team does is we're having conversations on a day-to-day basis with our financial advisors. Bob, I'm completely in awe when I'm communicating with our advisors and staff and how they're leveraging our technology and really to lean on their experience to really help drive our roadmap.
Well, thank you. And we will include some links in the notes that accompany this podcast. There will be a link where you can learn more about Commonwealth's technology solutions. There'll also be a link to an article that Patrick wrote that's titled An Office Technology Blueprint for Financial Advisors. Patrick, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Bob, no, again, I just want to say thank you for the time today. thank you to the Advisor Perspective team for providing this medium for people like myself to talk about the topics that we're passionate about. And again, I appreciate the effort that goes into the services and content your group provides. So Bob, thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome. And thank you for listening to the Gaining Perspective podcast with Bob Hoopsher, today featuring Patrick Daniel of Commonwealth Financial. To support our podcast, please share, subscribe, or leave a review to help make our podcast more findable for your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to Gaining Perspective on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher.